One thing you will never lose in life is the insistence of love for you. He wants to shelter your heart because we are made for it. You can see, the moments when you were most happy in life were the moment you loved intensely. This was not the moment you made money. It wasn't the moment you were successful, even because money and success, these things only make sense if you have people who love you by your side. Jesus already said that money only makes sense if it is to spend on the people we love. So it is worthless that you have built a whole structure if you lack people to help mean this built structure. This is urgent. It is you to manage your life so that you are able to be more time with those you love. Because it's like that. There comes a time when you find out that the essentials, which really matters, is very opposed to the way we live. It is that, in fact, consumer society puts us within a movement that we do not know where it will end up all. So you go, increasing your life in a way, a house here, a house there, an apartment here, this there, 2 cars, and you are multiplying your expense, and you lose the right to slow down, or the people who are dependent on you. Sometimes it is yourself, are so many people that it depends on us that we do not have the right to get sick. This is the time for you to distribute the responsibilities right. Look at the successful of a house, because everyone looks at him as if he had an obligation to handle everyone's financial life inside that house. I say again, you have to make us think of the quality of life we are having. You can't waste life like that, my people. Sometimes the opportunity to slow down, to put us with the people we love. I never tire of thinking about it. My people, the best place in the world is one. It is the one who gives us the opportunity to be with the people we love. What is virtuous life? It is you to look for your daily life, to step on the head of the defects, just as Our Lady steps in the head of the serpent, in the representation of the image we know. Our Lady of Graces, right, that steps in the serpent's head. St. Augustine suggests virtuous life even to atheists, because he learned this there in ancient philosophy, at a time when these writings, these philosophical suggestions were for atheists, but also for those who wanted to be a citizen. I want to be a good citizen in my city. Plato, Aristotle already talked about it. Virtuous life as the one that organizes social life. Augustine is already talking about a Christian perspective. When I fight to live a virtuous life, I naturally stop giving strength to sin. But it is not. We all have a freedom within the heart given to us by God. But if we do not manage this freedom well, it can die within us. Never gets to the surface. What is the inner freedom we talk about so much? It is this ability you have to say no to a reality that you recognize harmful to you. When we lose our ability to say no to a reality that destroys us, it is because this reality has already become vicious. It establishes itself within us as a packet, which invades lands that were not his own, but become for the time when he is established there. This is what we call usage champion. If I enter inside a land that is not mine and start planting, do my culture there, in a moment I go to court, and I will require the right that this is mine. Addiction does nothing else in the person's life, and the first thing that addiction does by removing the ability that person has to decide for himself is to expel self-love. It is that, in fact, addiction cannot live with self-love. They do not fit in the same room. They do not speak the same language, because they do not fight for the same questions. Addiction, to settle in a person, the first thing he does is undermine the person's decision ability. It removes inner freedom. This is why Jesus speaks all the time of the language of the heart. And the Gospel of John, which is the gospel of the heart, is the gospel of affection, of that apostle who has made a very deep experience of Jesus, is the gospel of the heart. John's narratives are always very deep. They are all in the perspective of showing a deep Christ, a Christ who does not hold on in appearances, but a Christ who sees heart. We have 1,000 ways to see and understand God, but when we understand from the heart, it is because something very deep happened to us. Therefore, the Amen we say is not a synonym for submission. It is a synonym for trust. And that is why those we say Amen begin to have a power over our hearts. What he says to us is important. We assimilate, we keep it, and somehow we obey. Love puts us from this perspective, my people. And that's why when we talk about heart conversion, we need to comb all the people we obey. What definitely, if I want to be a disciple of Jesus, the love I love, and the love offered to me cannot be opposing this segment that I want to live. You know, my people, for me it's a daily exercise that I need to do as a Christian. I cannot allow language's Sean voices to be in my heart to be contrary to the voices of Jesus in me. This is a conversion exercise for me as a Christian. My Christian identity lacks being reinforced by voices that remember who I am now. Ah, Father. Surrounding good things. A good reading, change of habits, surrounding people who can indeed contribute to you. There are so many good people in the world. I always say that. So many special people in the world. So many bright people from the human point of view. And we often closed in our worlds. Cultivating people who do not add us, who do not build us. But have you ever stopped to think that in the experience of loving and being loved, we also say amen all the time? Or not? It is even a way of squeezing the quality of love you say to a few. It's the amount of amen you say to those you love. Not in the sense of being submissive. It is not about this. Because true obedience lacks an inner freedom. Who is not free does not know how to obey. Who is not free is submissive. This is not obedience. Because obedience means listening to each other. It means there is a partnership. We are together to decide what is ours. We will listen together to reach a conclusion. Just as someone goes there and opens a gate for the cattle to pass. Someone, from time to time, needs to open the gate of our lives so that we are able to get out of what is holding us. How does this gate opens, my people? Sorry, even the expression, right? Opens the gate how? Through a word? Through a blessed advice? Or even an eye of an eye that makes us see things in a new way? Without the oppressions that our intimate enemies often put in us. That is why love is this exercise of service. I serve the one whom I love, and the one whom you love me also serves me. Not in the sense that we are objects to each other. We feel and have a deep meaning that makes us stand. So we started to discover partnerships in this conversion process. When we identify that the other is becoming increasingly fit to God's action in us. You look at friends and identify this friend here makes me more of God. This husband makes me more of God. This wife makes me more of God. These children I brought to the world make me more of God. And you also think about the responsibility of your role in their life. I remember when I was a boy, in the first classes we had, the teacher gave us some lessons and told us that you have to know by heart, right? Knowledge of color is as if we have had the deepest experience that knowledge can provide us. I already know by heart. That is, it is already internalized in me. It can no longer be taken from me because it was assimilated by the heart. And Jesus taught us that the greatest authority, the one that is superior to all other authorities, is not the medal in the chest. It is not the profession that was given by the diploma. It is not the political office he exercises. No, it may even be the king, but he has no effective authority about me. True authority is one that makes us serve. Look what a beauty this. In the understanding of Jesus, true authority, true power is in the hands of the one that serves. When we say amen within a religious context, for example, we are saying that we believe in what we have been told. In the religious universe, the word amen means a willingness to the segment. Amen. I am agreeing with you. What was proposed to me by faith, I am humanly accepting. Amen. I want. I am willing. I pray for you, my daughter. I want you to be successful so that you succeed in your fight. So you will love yourself again. That you rediscover your value as a person. And that you do not income all that is destroying you. No matter what time of life you have tired. What matters is that it is always possible to start over. You need to start over. To start over is to give yourself a new chance. To renew hopes in life, and most importantly, believe in you again. Did you suffer a lot in this period? Cried a lot. It was soul cleaning. Did you get angry at people? It was to forgive them one day. Did you feel only several times? It is because you closed the door to the angels. Believe that all was lost. It was the beginning of your improvement. Yeah, now it's time to restart. To think of the light. To find pleasure in the simple things again. How about a bold haircut? Different. A new course? Or does that old desire to learn to paint, draw, dominate the computer, or anything else? Look how much challenge. Look how much new thing in this world of my God waiting for you. Are you feeling alone? Nonsense. There are so many people that you have removed with your isolation period. There are so many people waiting for only one smile of yours to get close. When we locate ourselves in sadness, we don't even endure ourselves. We were horrible. The bad mood is eating our liver until the mouth is bitter. Restart. Today, I say a good day to start new challenges. Where do you want to get? Go loud? Dreaming loudly. Do you want the best of the best? Do you want good things for life? Thinking like this, we bring us what we want. If we think small, little things, we will have. Already, if we wish strongly the best and especially fight for the best will settle in our lives. And it is today the day of mental cleaning. Play away everything that holds you to the past. The little world of sad things, photos, pieces of clothing, bullet paper, movie tickets, travel tickets, and all that joke we keep when we think we are in love. Throw it all out, but mainly empty your heart. Stay ready for life to find love again. Remember, we are in love. We are always able to love and be loved. To love many times, many people. After all, we are love. Because I am the size of what I see and not the size of my height. This cleaning that the unknown writer proposes to us with this text called The Start serves on us at this time when we look at each other's death. We think ours. In philosophy, we learn that the only way we have to experience death before we die, of course, because death is the event that we will, in fact, know what it is to die, is at the moment that people die. There is no other way to experience personal death but dying. So how this will be the definitive act. I anticipate this experience when I look at those who die by my side, and somehow we looked at those who are gone. It is a way that I have to look at your death, is in the one who dies. It is an impact on us. The death of others impacts us. And when you look, when you feel this impact, it is natural that you also spend your clean life, and we all want to be happy. Sometimes we are not happy is because of the wrong choices we make. And when I speak of happiness, I'm not talking about the absence of problems. This is utopian. This does not exist. I'm talking about the possibility that we live comfortable in us. Of you looking at the life you are living and you are satisfied with the result you are having. It is possible. Our vocation is this. It is not having an extraordinary life. Because sometimes we look at the famous people, right? We talk. Wow. What an extraordinary life that must have that person. Anything. The stages are not eternal. That movie star you see shining on the screen? Look what happened to him. A man who won Oscar. A man who has won numerous awards throughout his life, and suddenly cannot manage the unhappiness of the moment or could not manage the scene. Because it is also dangerous. No one is free from losing the meaning of life, and I particularly think it can be for me, Toyu. An opportunity for us to review what we are doing in our lives. Sometimes we run too much, sometimes we expose ourselves to a context of such need. So much need. That we end up dying ahead of time. Perhaps it is at a time when people will need to simplify their lives. Because the more we can, the more complex we get. And when we are very complex, we get lost in the context of choices. We have difficulty finding what is essential. Because the one who can much, he runs the serious risk of not choosing what he really needs. Because between what we can and between what we really need, there is a great distance. There are many excesses that we feed as a priority, as unavailable. Urgent is living, my people. Urgent is coming home. Finding the children we have weak. Urgent is to love. And sometimes this urgency, because we want to go, we are able to stop today and wait a few hours. Because this is urgent. Sometimes we confuse. Urgency is not you run to arrive. The urgency is as that you want to arrive. So sometimes because I really want to arrive, I will need to sleep a few hours so I can get well. Not expose myself to unnecessary. We may even give up on it, but if you have